Well, now we're on the third video. As I was saying, the school header's here. It's the same thing, except that at school I've got a different path to look for my little marker, and I call it school marker, not Dropbox marker. So it's the same kind of thing. The other thing here is a timeout command. You can use a timeout for 3 seconds on more modern operating systems. Alternatively, you can ping localhost, and then this here is a redirect to null, which just don't echo it to the screen, and and then execute this next line. And when you're done, it's the same structure as before. Source, robocopy source, destination, file spec, type of copy or robocopy, and then read and write. Retry, I should say, and write. Retry and wait delays. It's been a long day. At the end, we go to the end, we time out for 3 seconds to observe any error messages, pipe that to null, and we're done. So there is a very quick tutorial on kind of a fairly simple batch file. We'll get into this a little bit more in depth as we attack a computer with these types of commands. We've also covered the basics of robocopy here. And the last thing I'll show you, and I thought this is also something that can be used in an attack scenario, which I'm not going to demonstrate this one, but I'll show it to you. On this one, here's a file called forloopexample.txt. And here, on my other monitor here, there's Notepad. Sure don't want to update itself again. Wait for it. Maybe not. Oh, it was already open. Let's close that out. Okay, so here's a for loop example. This particular command here, again, echo off, clear the screen, and it's a for loop. So %% refers to this first line that increments throughout the loops. And so for %% as in the sequence of lines in the file called forloopexample.txt, and that is referenced that way just simply because the batch and the text file are designed to be in the same location. So for each line in this text file, do the sequence. In this case, we're going to echo something. We're going to attempt and then echo back the thing that we're targeting. We're going to ping that thing, and we're going to wait for a ping of localhost piped to null to complete. And this could also be a timeout or whatever, like I said in the other file or in the other section of this. And then when this is all done executing, pause. Now, this ping could easily be some sort of malicious thing. It could be a deletion of something, calling a batch file that does something else, whatever. But the idea is that now you could break this out and attack a bunch of different things, not just the machine that you're on. Again, this is part of this homegrown attack scenario. So we'll run this one real quick and demonstrate just what that looks like, so you can see it iterate through this file. I've got here an extra period there that I don't need. These are just some internet addresses. Localhost is my machine, which will resolve to an IPv6. This is the IPv4 of my local machine. Here's everybody's favorite website, Google, and they're Google's DNS servers. They all return pings. So those are the things in the file, and I'll save this and poke it over here like that. Here's the batch. You can kind of see that over here and actually run the for loop example. There it goes. There's the first one. Waits for a few seconds. Here's the second. And again, those pings could be something else. They could be mean. They could be angry. They could be malicious. There's the IPv6 of Google, and I'm sure we'll get the IPv6 of, well, no, I'm calling the IPv4s. So there's replies from Google there, and of their secondary. So there you go. I just iterated through a list of IP addresses using a batch. Neat skills, huh? Don't use them for ill. Moving on. Let's see. How much time have I got left? Yeah, it doesn't really tell you. That's the other fun thing with Loom. Well, we'll go until we get cut off again. Now, let's attack this computer. Let's say that this is a Windows server, and like I said, in this case, it's really not. Let's say it is. Let's say I'm malicious, or I'm Bob the admin, and I left it unattended. I'm logged in as an administrator. It doesn't take hard to do this. Okay, go fire up the command prompt. Right-click this, run as an administrator, because I have inappropriate access, or I am the administrator, let's say. My virtual machine is not the fastest thing. Just let this kind of cook here. If you look down here, it's currently sucking up quite a bit of my meager CPU utilization ability here on this particular machine. Oh, geez. Well, I'm going to authorize that because I'm either malicious or whatever. I'm not being prompted for anything. All right. I'm in as a local administrator. So now look at this. On modern operating systems, if I go here and I just try to go in through the Explorer, I go to my computer, and let's say I want to make a batch file call, on this drive. You kind of can't. The operating system will block you from doing that. Here, I'm going to make a new. Wait for it. I want to make a new something. I can only make a new folder, right? Well, just kidding. I can actually make whatever I want when I have command prompt access. So cd / means change directory to the root. And now I can do this. Copy con. And I want to just call this asdf.bat. Now, really, this could go anywhere. I normally would not expect an attacker to hide something in the root, but they could. They could make this look a lot more official by putting it somewhere else or in a different folder or something like that. So copy con, name of the file, and that could be a file path or whatever. So now we're copying the configuration down. And so we're going to make our script run the following things very quickly. C drive. I want to go to cd / and wherever this gets run, it ends you up in root. I want to make directory logic bomb. Could be anything. It could be system. It could be update. I mean, it could be something that you kind of just overlook. For the purposes of demonstration, I'm going to call it logic bomb. Now, let's use that robocopy command. Robocopy. / actually, yeah, logic bomb. That's my source. Destination. Oh, let's send it to somewhere it's going to hurt. System root. So wherever your Windows is installed, / system32. And just copy everything in that empty folder. And we're going to mirror. So an empty folder is being written over top of your system32. I don't want any retries. If something happens to be in use, don't slow me down. And I don't want any wait either. So let's do that. And when I'm done, totally, by the way, that one line right there is going to hose this computer badly. Now, in the event that the computer is still operable, I'm going to do a remove directory of c / logic bomb. And I'm going to delete my tracks. None of those last two lines kind of don't matter because the system will be unbootable and unrecoverable when this is done. Okay, Control Z. Okay, now, let's say that I don't want to run this right now. This took me just a couple of minutes. Let's say that I want to schedule this to run in the future. Like I'm afraid I'm going to get fired or something. Right? I'm retiring and I just hate this company, right? Something like that. People do stupid things. They'll be caught. I mean, this is destructive vandalism stuff. This is equivalent to me throwing a brick through a window. And now it's going to look like Bob the admin did this. So I could use this to frame Bob as well. Bottom line, I run the task scheduler. So let's talk about the task scheduler for a minute here once this comes up. What this does is there's a subsystem within Windows that will sit and check to see what time it is and then check to see what jobs it has to run. This is similar to like the Unix cron jobs, from long ago. It's kind of the Microsoft way of doing things. On a server, there could be a lot of this. On this particular workstation, it's just a factory kind of fresh one that I spun up. It's not going to have too much, but it'll have some things. So here's the task scheduler. There's a